Good morning, church. Pastor Levi here, and I'm on my way driving this afternoon on a Tuesday to youth group, and I know you all are seeing this on Wednesday morning, but today is the day that everyone's been waiting for. Today's the day that all of this is going to come off. And I don't just want it to be about the shaving and all that, because the Lord has really been speaking to me about commitment and what commitment means and the sacrifices it takes to stick to a commitment. And so, as you guys know, I committed to the youth in our youth group that if they raised a certain amount of money in a certain amount of time, I would shave off my beard and my hair, and yes, even my eyebrows. And I'm going to stick with that commitment. But the more important thing is that tonight we're finishing up the third part in a 3-week series titled What to Do When God is Inactive. What to do when God is uncooperative. What to do when it seems like God is late in showing up in our lives. And tonight we're going to look at a story with the Apostle Paul where he talks about the thorn in his side. And when he talks about it earlier in his life compared to how he talks about it at the end of his life is two different perspectives. And yet through the entire time, Paul had this thorn, which wasn't specifically described in the Bible as to exactly what it was. There's a lot of assumptions as to what it was, but when Paul describes this, he describes it as being, putting him in agony, being torturous, and it being a huge burden in his life. But at the end, not at the end of his life, but at the end of 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 9 and 10, Paul goes on to say that he delights in the difficulties in his life. He delights in the insults, in the struggles. He delights in the hardships. And to some of us, that seems confusing. That seems a little bit weird. But Paul realized that he can delight in those things because of who God is. Because of how God works. Because God and Jesus, they are working in a way that takes what seems to be horrible, what seems to be bad, what seems to be a circumstance that we want removed right away, and God uses those things to build us into who He has called us to be. He uses those things to fit into His perfect plan for us in an amazing way. And so it's just a great realization that through it all, in it all, and through anything, we need to stay committed to God and to our Savior. So, stay tuned for the big reveal. All right, this is part 2 of the follow-up. You guys get to see it. You get to be here with us. Remember what I said in part 1 and enjoy it.
Get it, boys. Ladies and gentlemen, we are gathered here today in memory, not in memory of a man, but of his hair.
Yeah, me too. I'm not looking in the mirror.